President Erdoğan, our national income per capita, exceeded $13,000 for the first time, as President Recep Tayyip Erdoğan said. Even though we faced an additional burden of $104 billion due to the earthquake alone, our economy continued to grow at a very good rate of 4.5%. Our national income per capita exceeded $13,000 for the first time. President Erdoğan, who attended the Istanbul Iftar Gathering in every moment, always by your side at Haliç Congress Center, said that they came together with business people, doctors and relatives of Dünyagöz family on the occasion of Iftar, congratulating the participants on Ramadan. President Erdoğan said, "We are almost nearing the end of the blessed Ramadan, the beginning of which is mercy, the middle is forgiveness, and the end is salvation from eternal torment. May God accept the fasts you have kept and the worships you have performed. May Allah bring us to Eid as He brought us to Ramadan with health, peace, and prosperity." President Erdoğan stated that the events taking place in Syria, Iraq, Sudan, and most recently in Gaza prevented the joy of these blessed days from being properly realized, and said, "For 168 days, Israel, the terrorist state, which has no sense of humanity, has been slaughtering our brothers and sisters in Gaza, without calling them children, women, elderly, or civilians, and has been committing a genocide more brutal than those in the Second World War. We see that hospitals, health workers, and places of worship, which should not be touched even in war, are especially targeted by the occupation forces, international institutions, and organizations, especially the United Nations, are only watching this barbarism of the Israeli administration. Except for simple reactions, apart from Turkey and a few other countries, there is almost no actor raising its voice against Israel and its Western backers. As Turkey, in cooperation with our friends in the region, we are trying to help the oppressed people of Gaza and alleviate their suffering to some extent, in line with the Prophet's hadith. We stand against oppression with our hands, tongue, and heart, and support our brothers and sisters in Gaza. We will continue to take the strongest stance against Israel's atrocities against Palestinians, noting that he regrets those who make the tragedy of the oppressed in Gaza a political material. Through the arguments handed to them by the opponents of Turkey, President Erdoğan said, "We refer those who make baseless accusations just to criticize, just to hit the AK party and the People's Alliance to our Lord. Even if they do not know it, Allah knows our efforts and aid, although they do not see it. The Palestinian people and all the oppressed people in the world from Africa to Asia are the closest witnesses of Turkey's sincere efforts. Our country has paid and is paying the price for this conscientious, compassionate, and courageous stance. We do not even pay attention to the words of those who slander our Palestinian brothers and sisters who resist against the oppression and occupiers as terrorists." Recalling his response to a question he was asked during a visit to the United States before he became Prime Minister, President Erdoğan said, "I was not yet Prime Minister. I was on a trip to the U.S. There, certain people in the U.S. asked me this question: how do you look at Palestine in particular? They went beyond that and said, how do you look at these people in Palestine? I said, I look at them in the opposite way. I am a Muslim and they are Muslims. Therefore, whatever support we can give them, we are ready to give that support to the end." Of course, it is now very clear what is behind this. As in the Syrian issue, they have taken the main stance on the side of the oppressor against the oppressed. Some circles in our country have long been disturbed by the fact that it is not Turkey that apologizes to Israel, but Turkey that makes Israel apologize to Israel with its upright and resilient attitude. We are of course aware of these and the lobbies behind them. We have not bowed down to these lobbies until today, and we will not do so in the future. We will continue to show our stance in the strongest way against the atrocities committed by Israel against Palestinians in Gaza.